Good morning and welcome everyone to the daily news analysis for today, that is 3rd of May 2021. So guys, in today's daily news analysis we are going to talk about basically talk about the electoral results, the poll results that came in, and then we are going to talk about, just a minute guys. Just give me 1 minute, there is some problem with the thing here. So in today's daily news analysis, we are going to talk briefly about the electoral results, and then we are going to talk about the co-vaccine and other things that are going on in our country. So let's get started with it. Fix oxygen deficit by May 3. Set up buffer stock, Supreme Court to government. Don't discriminate in vaccination process. So this is the time that Supreme Court is criticizing the government for its lapses, for its negligence. And then simultaneously we are going to talk about the important news articles from Economic Times also. Centre faces questions over how it plans to use foreign aid. A lot of foreign aid is coming in, but Centre is facing questions from the academia as well as judiciary as to how it intends to use the foreign aid, how judiciously and how equally is the foreign aid going to be shared. So all these things are there. Then India receives aid from Taiwan as well. I'll insert some diplomatic angle in this news article once we will be dealing with this article. Then merchandise exports. Merchandise exports are those exports which are intangible, which are in the form of tangible goods. So merchandise exports touch $30.21 billion. This is one we are going to deal with. Jammu and Kashmir government teacher dismissed under Article 311. We are going to talk about Article 311. What is the meaning of Article 311? Summary trial. What is the meaning of summary trial? If a corrupt bureaucrat or if a corrupt government official is found, then that official or bureaucrat could be dismissed from the service with a summary trial without any kind of inquiry or judicial process. Then international news related article for GS mains paper 2. US clears sale of 6 P-8I petrol aircrafts to India. GST on oxygen concentrators cut. Public buildings and fire safety rules. Jet fuel prices soared 6.7%. Petrol increase seen soon. So jet fuel, ATF as we call it, ATF prices have been rising in the recent past. Now, coming to the motivational quote for the day, बुलंद है तेरे इरादे, हिम्मत भरी तेरी मुस्कान है, तू ही है कल का सूरज, तू ही जग की शान है, हौसले बुलंद रख और हिम्मत जुटाए रखना, ये सिर्फ तेरी मंजिल नहीं, बहुत से लोगों का अरमान है. So those of you who understand Hindi, it's fine. So your success is not only for your purpose. When you are aspiring for an exam like civil services, so your success is not only for yourself. There are many people who are looking for someone ethical, who are looking for someone hardworking to rescue them out of the problems that they are facing. In the times of oxygen crisis that we are facing in our country, you can see the helplessness of people out there. So you have to be strong in your determination. You have to have that himmat, as we call it, resolute sense of duty towards your studies, so that you are not only able to rescue your immediate near and dear ones, your family members, but the others also. That is what the true meaning of public service is. This is something when you feel like, am I able to clear, am I able to study as much, would I be able to clear? On a daily basis you face these type of questions in your own mind going on. So when you think of something beyond your immediate self, when you think of selfless work for others, that gives you a renewed sense of energy, that gives you a renewed sense of purpose and a gush of energy that helps you to persevere further, that helps you to push yourself to that, for that extra mile, which helps you to cover the daily targets. Now coming here, important editorials. Today's editorials are politically colored. We can say that this is on the victory of political parties and all. We are not going to deal with these articles of the day, editorials basically. Now coming to this part, News articles. You can download the JV's IAS application daily, every morning, daily. What we are doing is we are sending in the push notifications on the application for you to read the important news articles from various newspapers. So if you want to read Indian Express, the unique points of Indian Express, The Hindu, Live Mint or other newspapers merged together and created in the form of a summary, you can download the JV's IAS application. You will be getting a push notification around 9 a.m. every morning to download these articles. Also, you will be able to find daily free quiz based on current affairs questions, which will help you assess your grip on current affairs, assess your level of attentiveness while you're listening to me here for the current affairs analysis. Now, coming to the mind maps. Mind maps also you can download from our website or from our official Telegram channel. Telegram channel is JVIAS10. Many of you must already be knowing about it. So this Telegram channel carries all the important information about my classes, about other teachers' classes, about our current affairs magazine, mind maps, daily news analysis, etc. Now coming quickly to this pink moon, etc. You can download these things from the Telegram channel of our institution. JV's IAS 10 is the Telegram channel, and in case you are not getting the daily Hindu PDF on in your area because of COVID-19 lockdown or because of the distance in terms of geography from the place of distribution of the Hindu newspaper, the newspaper hub, so you can subscribe to this Telegram channel to get on a daily basis The Hindu, Indian Express, Frontline magazine, important articles, etc. Jumping to the news articles. Centre faces questions over how it plans to use foreign aid. France sends 8 oxygen generators for specific hospitals. Just a passing news. We need to be aware of what is happening. But yes, do you think that this news, if you were to ask me that this news is going to have any utility in terms of your exam, no utility as such. Each of these oxygen generator plants will make an Indian hospital fully oxygen Atmanirbhar, fully oxygen self-sufficient for more than 10 years. The process on how to route the funding, which is handed over by the foreign government through the Indian Red Cross to the Ministry of Health, is being coordinated by an empowered group of ministers. Now, what is the meaning of empowered group of ministers? Empowered group of ministers का मतलब क्या होता है? Empowered group of ministers is a part of basically cabinet ministers or any other minister which is constituted. Empowered group of ministers is constituted to bring to the light of cabinet any important matter, because cabinet, you know that cabinet ministers are already very busy, especially in the times of crisis like this. So empowered group of ministers are the ministers who are concerned with the specific subject. For example, health minister, or in this case Minister of Finance, all the related ministries, officials from all the related ministries and ministers from all the related ministries are constituted into the empowered group of ministers so as to take a decision on a particular issue. Then the decision taken, then the recommendations of empowered group of ministers are placed before the cabinet. Cabinet headed by the PM gives the final approval. Okay, so an empowered group of ministers and officials has been constituted, which is fielding the requests from various state governments. Whatever is coming in the form of in from abroad is going to the Ministry of Health, and then it is going to go to the other ministries if the need arises, right? So these things are there. Now coming to the other aspects, I hope the audio quality is better now than before. So whatever is coming in from abroad is going to the Ministry of Health, and then depending upon need will be processed to various state governments. So this is what is happening here. Foreign aid and its distribution. The current mobilization of resources involving the mapping of locations where supplies are urgently needed is being steered by empowered groups or panels. Now guys, let me tell you how in different ways you can use these articles. First thing is, you have to keep a tab on these things from the bilateral relations point of view. GS Mains Paper 2, International Relations. Which country is giving us how much? France is standing by India, Germany is standing by India in times of its needs, so is USA. This is one angle. Then I told you about the polity angle. What is the meaning of empowered group of ministers? Do you think that empowered group of ministers are a better way to deal with the increasing technocratic challenges or technological nature of increasing technicality in the government? Basically, yes, empowered group of ministers, they comprise of the, even though the cabinet, even though the council of ministers is amateurish. Amateurish का मतलब होता है कि ये जो हमारी कंट्री में मंत्री हैं, मिनिस्टर्स हैं, unlike in USA, they are not subject experts, they are amateurish. Somebody was a you can say politician. Before politician, he was a businessman or he was a layman, right? So in the polity where ministers are generally amateurish, this constituting empowered group of ministers, it gives the sense of technicality, it instills a sense of technocraticness, if I may use that word, the required sense of experience or technical experience that is required on a particular subject. The related ministers, even if they are not cabinet ministers, are added to the empowered group of ministers. Okay, so suppose if empowered group of ministers, more often than not, is headed by one or the more cabinet rank minister is there, then under that cabinet rank minister there could be other ministers who hail from the respective ministries which are concerned. So having empowered group of ministers leads to a sense of you can say better preservation of the principle of collective responsibility. Cabinet in India or cabinet elsewhere is often accused of amassing authority, amassing power at the cost of other members of the Council of Ministers. It has been criticized ever since its birth. Cabinet has been criticized for neglecting or for ignoring the voice of the rest of the Council of Ministers. But empowered group of ministers, insofar as it involves other ministers who are not cabinet ministers, other ministers from the Council of Ministers who are dealing with that particular subject. For example, let's say Minister of Science and Technology is not included in the cabinet, but the matter at hand on which the cabinet is going to take the decision is very much concerned with the Ministry of Science and Technology. Involving the Minister of Science and Technology in such a subject matter leads to better preservation and promotion of principle of collective responsibility under Article 74 of this Constitution of India. Is this point clear to everyone? Lateral entry, Pranab, it's look related, but it's not. You can say it's remotely related here. Okay, so this is there. Now coming here, the other angle that we can apply is, one, I told you the international relations angle. Second, I told you the polity angle. Third angle is for the ethics paper, GS paper 4, you can see things here, how the crisis, during the times of crisis, the governmental response is brought about, how the government deals with these type of things. Picking up the relevant phraseology from here, jargons from here, will help you write a better answer in ethics paper. Done? Let's move forward. So these things are there. The distribution plan, how a distribution plan is prepared, right? Then Indian Red Cross Society. This is the factual angle for your polity paper as to how things are dealt with. Okay, Indian Red Cross Society pre-angle is there. For prelims purpose, you can pick up relevant things from here. The EG Empowered Group 2 is keeping an account of availability of the oxygen based on each state's needs and prevailing situation. President of India is the president and the Union Health Minister is the chairperson of the society. Certain factual details which are relevant for your purpose. So it is a part of largest independent humanitarian organization in the world, International Red Cross and Red Crescent Movement. It was established in year 1920 and has completed its 100 years of existence. So this becomes an even more important factor for UPSC to ask a question from this thing. Okay, so 100 years, completion of centenary year, completion of a centenary itself becomes a point. Now that it has appeared in the news, so you should be thorough with this thing. It is a voluntary humanitarian organization. This factual angle has been covered. GS paper 2 angle has been covered, GS paper 3 angle has been covered, and 4 angle has been covered, right? President of India, this is the question here. Okay, explanation is provided at the last page. You can download the PDF from the Word doc. PDF will be shared at around 1 p.m. today. So you can download the PDF from the Telegram channel JVIAS 10. So that you can read the summary and you can check the answers for your own self. Now, a bit of information about GS paper 20, this UPSC CSE course 2022. My integrated GS batch is going to start from 15th of May 2021. So you can enroll yourself for holistic coverage, analytical terms may, and in practical, in the terms of prelims oriented preparation. You can join this course, in which I'll be covering Indian polity, governance, current affairs, and you will be provided the study material, hard copy books also along with this course. It includes the prelims test series, ethics, science and technology, environment and ecology, and everything. Now coming here, India receives aid from Taiwan. There is a bilateral relations angle also, and there is a diplomatic angle also. At a time when China is coming up to India, China is reaching out to India, helping India in times of its crisis. Taiwan is also trying to match up or trying to offend China. You can look at it. We can look at this news article from this point of view as well, because China and Taiwan have been at loggerheads with each other in the recent few months. So keeping that in mind, this is happening, right? Now, India received assistance from Taiwan, including oxygen concentrators and cylinders, with more batches of medical equipment set to follow from Taipei. A first batch consisting of 50 oxygen concentrators and 500 oxygen cylinders landed in New Delhi on a Boeing 747 of China Airlines. So this is happening, China and Taiwan. Taiwan is showing that in times of adversity, it can stand with India, so that during the bilateral tussle between China and Taiwan, India should stand by Taiwanese side. India and Taiwan do not maintain formal diplomatic relations. So therein lies the importance that a country which is not having formal diplomatic relations because of China's intervention on pressure on India, that you should not be maintaining the bilateral relations with Taiwan. Despite that, Taiwan is sending assistance to India, even as its parent country, China, has been doing the same. Not accepted China's offers. India, meanwhile, has not yet accepted China's offers of aid and assistance that were conveyed again, both in a message from President of China to Indian Prime Minister. India has preferred to source medical supplies from China on a commercial basis. So these things are happening. India and Taiwan do not maintain formal diplomatic relations. So these things are there. In the field of science and technology, there are more than 30 ongoing government-funded joint research projects between India and Taiwan. Challenges in the way of India-Taiwan relations. One China policy. India finds it difficult to realize the full potential of its bilateral relationship with Taiwan. At present, about 16 countries worldwide continue to recognize Taiwan as an independent state. India is not among the 16 countries. Trade and investment, the economic exchange is still relatively insignificant. Taiwan's share of trade with India is around 1% of its global trade. Now, these things are there. This is what you know about Taiwan and China. Taiwan Strait is there. Taiwan is under China as per one country, two systems norm. So is Hong Kong. Okay, so rest of the details about South China Sea, we have been discussing about Paracel Islands, Spratly Islands, 9-dash line, right? So all these things are there. Now let's focus for just 1 minute on these map related details. Luzon Strait is between which two countries? You have to be thorough with these type of things. Okay, then Gulf of Tonkin is between which two countries? Then Lizu Peninsula. So all these things you have to be thorough with. Malacca Strait is between how many countries? Sumatra Island, Java and Sumatra Island. Then Karimata Strait is between which two countries, right? Or between which part of the two part of the country. Java Sea is there. All these details are very, very important. UPSC has been asking questions from these things. Many a times it has been observed. So this is there. Now, One China policy refers to the policy or view that there is only one state called China, despite the existence of two governments that claim to be China. As a policy, this means that countries seeking diplomatic relations with People's Republic of China, mainland China, must break official relations with Republic of China, Taiwan. Now, arrange the following countries from north to south. As I told you, explanation is provided on the last slide. We will be dealing with that also, but do read this for now. Okay. Now, coming quickly to the economy related news articles. Merchandise exports touched $30.21 billion. India's merchandise exports. Merchandise exports are the exports apart from service exports, services that India is exporting to other countries. India's merchandise exports, the goods produced in the country India, are being exported to the rest of the world. So this is a good news that they were rising when compared to the previous year. So previous year, in the April 20, we know that the COVID-19 induced crisis, COVID-19 triggered crisis was at its peak, was at its all-time high for 2020. That is why the exports were touching an ebb at lowest point during April 2020. So that is why, because of the poor base effect. Base effect means that in April 2020, if we take April 2020 as the denominator and keep April 2021 above, so naturally the growth is going to look more beautiful. The growth picture is going to look very, very rosy, even as we are not doing that well when it comes to comparison of growth of exports with the comparison of growth of exports of April 2018, April 2017. Okay, because this is poor denominator effect here, or what we call as low base effect here. April's exports constituted a 16% rise over April 2019. Merchandise imports rose 166%. What are the reasons? See guys, we are just talking about 1 month here. Do you need to burden yourself with this data? Do you need to jot down or make notes out of this data? No. Okay, only an awareness is required. Just an awareness would be enough. Please understand this point. So here, relaxation in lockdown policy and start of economic activities are the main reasons. Common sense related reasons, you can say. Oil import has increased due to opening up of the transportation sector. All these things are there. Balance of payments. Balance of payments is a record of all the financial transactions that are made between all those active in the domestic economy. Now, please understand, domestic economy and the rest of the world. Having a good merchandise export number, that is 30.2 billion, will help us cover our current account deficit. India is a country which has always seen current account deficit. Why? Because we are dependent on crude oil imports, gold imports, fertilizer imports from the rest of the world. That is the reason that we have not been able to have current account surplus. That means the value of total exports is less than value of total imports from the country. Okay, this is the current account. All flows of money received from the purchase of goods and services is captured under current account. If India's exports are good, then you can say that if this is the current account, on one hand we write the inputs, what is coming into India, and on the other hand we write the outputs. This is balance of payment. Okay, this is balance of payment account, you can say. And then there is another account which we call as current account. In current account we write the balance of trade, basically, you can say. Okay, so here imports are more than exports. Having a good number of exports, having a good value of exports in a particular month or in a month or two, 30 billion, this reduces the import balance to a certain extent. Clear? So This is a good thing insofar as the understanding of concept of economy. What is the meaning of current account? What is the meaning of capital account? All these are basic things. So because this is the current affairs class, we are not going to go into the basic things. We are going to talk about the current affairs related things. However, I am trying to explain this to the students who are quite new to UPSC CSE preparation. Now, what is capital account? All flows associated with capital items, that is private capital, official capital and banking. Now, you can see here visible balance of trade, things which are visible, which are reflected in the accounts of RBI, exports, imports. This is very much clear, very much clearly visible to Ministry of Commerce as to how much exports are coming into country. Customs department tells the government that these goods are going out of the country and these goods are coming into the country. Okay, then there is an invisible balance of exports. Suppose if a tourist comes to your country, so tourist is going to spend some amount, you cannot gauge that amount, you cannot clearly tell that this much amount has come into India. Okay, earnings of domestic airlines from foreign passengers, earnings of domestic hotels from foreign guests. Now, net investment income, interest payment that we have received, or profits that are companies located in foreign countries. For example, Tata is located in Britain. If Tata is earning some profit, that will be captured here. Current transfers, private transfers between the countries and government transfers to your EU, UN. Now, current transfers, the transfer that is taking place in the form of aid being given to India due to COVID-19, for example, will be captured here. Private capital transactions, official capital transactions, government borrowing and the sale of government stock. So this is official. Private capital transaction, purchase of land and factory buildings outside India. Suppose if Tata acquires a company named as Land Rover, Range Rover. Okay, so Jaguar company was acquired by Tata. So that is the money going out of India in form of dollars. Plus banking transactions, change in net external position of banks. For example, if SBI has got a deposit of, let's say, $10 million in its US branch. So calculating, and then on the other hand, PNB is having the accounts of foreigners in Indian branches. So we need to subtract 2 from 1. If Indian branches of PNB are having the deposits of foreigners in its branches in India, Mumbai, Kolkata, then 1 minus 2 will lead to change in external position of the banks. Okay, so this is how you can see these calculations and all in order to understand basic economics. Then, which of the following constitute capital account? Foreign loan, foreign direct investment, private remittances. You have to answer this in the comment section. Try applying the common sense or the basic knowledge of the economics. If you are lacking in economics, you can consider joining my economy course on my website www.jatinverma.org. I explain these concepts very beautifully so that you guys are able to understand the minute details of economy, the factual part of economy, economy related schemes and everything. Then coming quickly to the important news articles for Sunday, since we do not do the news paper analysis on Sunday. Jammu and Kashmir government teacher dismissed under Article 311 without inquiry. As we know that Article 370, which allowed the Jammu and Kashmir to have its own constitution, etc., was abrogated in September 2019, in August 2019. So now Article 311 of the Indian Constitution is applicable, and all other articles of the Constitution of India are applicable to Jammu and Kashmir. What does Article 311 say? Article 311 says that if somebody is found derelicting the duty, or if somebody is found to be corrupt on duty, that person could be immediately dismissed from the service. This article, we believe that since we are preparing for UPSC IAS exam, many of you must be believing that this article is only for the IAS officers, etc. No. If the government so thinks, if the government of India or government of any state thinks that if a public officer is not performing the duties, or if he is performing the tasks or duties in a manner which is going to be counterproductive to the cause of the governance, then governor of a state, lieutenant governor of a union territory, or governor of any you can say the state of India can dismiss the public functionary, be it a teacher, be it a peon, be it a senior assistant or a junior assistant or a clerk or an IAS officer. Okay, because here in this case the teacher was a supporter of Tehreek-e-Hurriyat, which remains headless in Kashmir since Saeed Gilani resigned from its top post last year. He was facing a number of FIRs against him. That is why the teacher was dismissed. What does Article 311 say? Article 311 is the article which says that the person who is appointed can be removed from the office by the appointing authority. Okay, so scores of employees were found involved in stone pelting, etc. So that is why this official has been removed. This article says that where the president is satisfied that the retention of a person in the public service is prejudicial to the security of the state, that person's services can be terminated without recourse to normal procedure. Okay. Here the satisfaction of the president. Now, as you all know that LG, Lieutenant Governor, refers to Lieutenant Governor is exercising the power of the president. So the delegated power of the president has been used for the removal of the corrupt functionary here. Okay. Here the satisfaction is subjective to That means it may or may not be objective. So, summary trial. If a corrupt bureaucrat is found accepting bribe or cash red-handed, there is no need for judicial process. This clause does not require that reasons for the satisfaction should be recorded in writing. That is why called as subjective satisfaction of the president is sufficient here. This indicates that the power given to the president is unlimited and cannot be made a justifiable issue. The persons who are dismissed by the president under Article 311 do not have any judicial recourse. They cannot approach the courts here. Clear? So this is there. Is suspension or compulsory retirement a form of punishment? All these things are covered in the PDF that you can download from the Telegram channel JVIAS 10. It says that a civil servant cannot be dismissed or removed by any authority subordinate to the authority by which he was appointed. Okay, civil servant cannot be dismissed. If let's say a PCS officer who was appointed by the governor after the conduct of state PSC exam, State Public Service Commission exam, then that person who is appointed by the governor could be removed by the governor. If a person who is appointed by the president after the conduct of exam by UPSC or SSC or any other government exam, could be removed by the president without any kind of judicial trial. Clear? It says that a civil servant cannot be removed or dismissed or reduced in rank unless he has been given a reasonable opportunity to show cause against action proposed to be taken against him. So this Article 311 gives the protection to the honest civil servants. Okay, this can be interpreted in two ways. We are saying here that a civil servant cannot be dismissed by any authority subordinate to the appointing authority. That means if the other side of the coin is, if the appointing authority wants to dismiss a civil servant, appointing authority can do so. Yeah. So this is there. Public Safety Act of Jammu and Kashmir is also mentioned here. So guys, this was all in the daily news analysis for today. That is Monday, 3rd of May 2021. As you all know that not much is there in the newspapers on Monday because Sunday is a holiday. So news bureaus, the editorial team, etc. everybody is on a holiday. So that's why. So we will be bouncing back again tomorrow for the daily news analysis of 4th of May 2021. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Do share this video if you are finding it useful. Do share it with your friends or other people who are preparing for this exam. If in case you find someone struggling for the news analysis, you can share the same, and you can subscribe to this channel also for daily news updates and other videos by me. Thank you guys. Bye bye. Have a great day. Hindi magazine is not there. We bring out the magazine only in English, which you can download from my application, JV's IAS application, or www.jatinverma.org. Clear? So JV's IAS application is something that you can download from Google Play Store or Apple App Store also. Done guys. Thank you. Have a good day. Keep studying. Keep working hard. Even though the times are tough for some of you, it must be some medical problem in your family or in your relatives, but try to catch these videos or try to read something on the internet through your mobile phone. Time is the only thing that will count in the end, right? So you have to grab your time, you have to make the most out of it every single day. Persistence, perseverance and patience are the three important P's in this preparation of UPSC CSE. Thank you guys. Bye bye.